I, 25 male, have a gut feeling that my girlfriend, 25 female, is hiding something from me. Hi people of Reddit. This is a bit of a long one, but I'm really hoping someone can help me out here. I want to start off by saying prior to this situation happening, I trusted my partner fully and have never had any doubts about her being unfaithful. I have always allowed her to have male friends, which she has plenty of, and this has never been a concern for me. Telling your partner who they can/can't be friends with is controlling, so I'm very much against that. My partner is the opposite, see side note at the end. However, we were at a friend's gathering on the weekend and someone asked a question such as, besides GF's name, have you ever had feelings for someone else? Poor question choice I guess, but an obvious answer in my opinion. I replied yes, I've liked someone else when I was 18, but I have never loved anyone besides GF's name. An honest answer, and one she knew the answer to already, as we've spoke about this many times before. She then proceeded to storm off and act passive aggressively towards me for the rest of the evening. Following this, she began acting weird on her phone. She was also fairly drunk throughout the entirety of her time there, so I grew suspicious of what she was up to and who she was talking to. I don't usually condone this behavior, but my gut feeling was telling me that she's hiding something/talking to someone, so I wanted to find out who. I went through her phone behind her back and checked her Instagram DMs. Here's where the trust issues begin, and TBH, I'm just searching for clarity on whether I'm right or not for thinking this way. She rarely posts stories on Instagram, well, which is what I thought, but I could see that she had posted a selfie to her close friends earlier that night. Her close friends were a few girls and a fair few boys, around 20 boys I'd say, 4 of which I'd say were actually her friend. She chose not to add me to her close friends group, which meant that I could not see the pictures that she has posted. There were a few guys replying to the picture that she posted on her story saying 10/10ths face and you look good etc. She replied to all of them like so. Do you guys think this is how someone in a relationship should respond to advancements towards them? She had also posted a picture of her in her gym gear to this same group, despite her not going to the gym. The intention behind the pic in my opinion was to show off her body to the same group of select boys. I confronted her about it, and she claims that they are all her friends, and that she has nothing to hide. She apologized about the way she replied to the advancements made by other males. I told her if it were the other way around and I replied to girls like that, she would not be happy about it. Her posting this story in her close friends made it seem to me as though she was seeking compliments and attention from other guys. She could have posted this picture to her main story, but instead decided to hide it from me. Am I wrong for thinking that she is still hiding something? I have a gut feeling that in our time in a relationship, 1 year, she has been speaking to or spoken to someone else, but deleted the messages in her DMs. She often deletes her messages on WhatsApp just to clear them. She says I'm acting crazy, and she has nothing to hide. Side note, she often tells me I can't go places, bar, club or to my friends, if he's having a gathering for example, because she doesn't trust the girls there. I think she doesn't trust me, an attractive male, around other females. Her jealous/controlling nature is also beginning to take its toll on me, and I've discussed this with her. Let me know your thoughts guys. Much appreciated. TLDR, I have a gut feeling my GF is hiding something from me due to her acting strangely and posting pictures/replying to a select group of male friends. It's usually the gut feeling that says it all. We can always tell when things are different. I completely agree. Something just isn't sitting right with me. Do some digging and you'll find out. Trust me, your instinct is usually right. My twin brother and my GF/wife had a thing going years ago behind my back, and the signs were obvious, but I used to put it to the back of my mind until it came out, and I was like, I always knew I had so many chances to catch them, but didn't trust my gut. She's ridiculously immature, and you have way too many trust issues. There's one direction this will go. It's strange because like I said, prior to seeing those messages and her posts which she hid from me, I never had any reasons not to trust her. I've always allowed her to do as she wishes as I trusted her, but her actions just didn't sit right with me. Would you be okay with it if you were in my shoes? Aloud. That's twice you've used that word. Don't. Yes. My GF. Maybe too soon for that. Has lots of people she talks to, including exes. Literally doesn't bother me one bit. End of the day, she either wants to be with me or she doesn't, and vice versa. If she betrays that trust, we will break up. But I honestly couldn't care less about what someone posts on social media. Aloud, just a poor wording choice. You understand exactly what I meant though. And fair enough, appreciate your opinion. Sort of, it makes it sounds like you give permission, not a good perspective to have. But fair dos. But trust is everything. And I had serious trust issues in the past, so believe me, without trust there's nothing there. Yeah, that's not the wording I intended, as I'm completely against that. Thanks for your words though. I'll have a think about things and take them into consideration. I agree you should listen to your gut, as others said though too. Honestly, from what you've said, you are right to be suspicious. Hiding you from a friend group she uses for validation of her face and body. Deleting DMs. This is all shady crap. And storming off like a child because she's not the only female you've ever enjoyed the company of is a huge red flag. Based on what you've said, I'm 99% sure she is lying to you about something big. I think that she at least owes you a conversation to talk about all these concerns, and if she is unwilling to do that, then there's another huge red flag. Now, that said, you can't control her behavior. She is gonna do what she wants. All you can do is let her know your boundaries, and if she won't accept them, you end the relationship. But either way, don't continue like this. Thank you for sharing your view. We are meeting tomorrow to have a conversation about the situation and hopefully resolve things. Go with your gut feeling. I'll have some time to think about things and take this into consideration. Make the choice that's best for you. I gave people the benefit of the doubt, even though my gut feeling said otherwise. For now, my gut feeling was always right. Worldwide comments of the day. Yep, makes sense. All of it makes sense. I can't knock anyone for this. It's not an unfair thing for Jim to say, but that's the end of a friendship. Jim isn't being unfair. OP isn't being unfair. It sounds like, in typically fashion, Dave had some underlying feelings and lashed out by mistreating. I hope he's changed to accept and marry a trans woman. It sounds like he has. She needs to respect Jim's feelings, and he needs to respect hers as well. They need to give each other time and space, but OP may lose her friend, but that will be his choice, not hers. Jim probably still had trauma, but clearly you don't care. You're forcing his oppressor into his life. It never became physical as far as you know. Just because you got over the mistreatment doesn't mean Jim did, and you shouldn't expect that he should. It's not Jim's job to be your lil pal if he feels uncomfortable and has trauma. If being around Dave is making him regress into his trauma more, and Jed doesn't wanna be around Dave, then guess what, he gets to leave. This story has me going what the duck. When most people who aren't close apologize for past behaviors, they rarely deal with each other, if at all, afterwards. I don't buy the random blind date for a moment. One or both parties expressed interest in the other, and friends made it happen. Laughing about the situation going along with it makes me believe OP has always had a thing for Dave. I'm pretty most people in the same situation would have laughed it off and said something like, who will our blind next date be? A cousin? Before leaving. I mean, there's a giant gap between letting go of past issues with a person and dating them. Jim's reaction makes complete sense. Forgiving a person is one thing, but dating/marrying them? It doesn't look any different than someone dating an offensive ex. I know he was a monster, but he's changed. Fits in both situations. People are desperately grasping at straws when it comes to Jim. Some seem to think he has a mental problem for not wanting to associate with someone who was openly horrible to him. That's like chastising someone for not leaving money around a thief. Others claim he's in love with OP, which makes absolutely no sense. By their logic, the people in stories about hating siblings' partners must secretly want inbreeding. OP is completely insane to think he'd want anything to do with the wedding when he's been open about not wanting anything to do with the groom. Read the room. I think OP and the oppressor deserves each other. She knew by dating the oppressor and trying to force Jim to be around him was going to cause a problem. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting and relatable Reddit videos.